When you talk about future of boxing, you think about a Virgil Ortiz. You think about a Teofimo Lopez. You think about a Shakur Stevenson, a Devin Haney. That's just to name a few. But you can't think and talk about future of boxing without adding Jaron Boots Ennis' name to the conversation. What are you doing? You have to add that boy's name. You have to add that man's name. And we're going to talk about that. But before we do, y'all make sure y'all drop a like. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe to the channel and you won't miss a video. It gives me added motivation, more motivation than I already have to give you guys this content. It just gives me motivation seeing you guys, want to watch my videos or dropping a like or commenting, because I want to interact with you guys. So please drop a like, subscribe to the channel. What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? And welcome back to SealsTv. So, as I said, when it comes to future of boxing, you have to put Jaron Ennis' name in the conversation. You have to. He has everything that we're looking for. He has the charisma. He has the personality. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He has the skills. Man, he's tall. He's rangy. He's strong. He's powerful. He's fast. He has defense. He has it all. So what are you doing not putting him in the conversation? You're capping. That's what you're doing. You're capping. Stop capping. Put him in that conversation because he belongs in the conversation. Now, I'm not saying that he's better than the rest of the guys, but at the end of the day, I feel like there are more than one face. There's more than one face of boxing. There's multiple faces of boxing. There's multiple futures of boxing. Right now, there's not just Canelo Alvarez. It's not. Because some people don't like Canelo Alvarez. Some people like Errol Spence. Some people like Terrence Crawford. Some people like Teofimo Lopez. Some people like Fury, Joshua. All these guys. So it's not just one face of boxing. So all these guys that I named, they are the faces of boxing. They are the futures of boxing. So, put some respect on this man's name. Because he's going to show you next Saturday, April 10th, he's going to show you. This is his biggest step up in competition. This is his biggest fight to date. And that's against Sergey Limpinets. Now, I know a lot of y'all are going to say, well, Sergey Limpinets is not that great of a fighter. He had a draw against Clayton, and to me, he lost. He doesn't look that good. Okay, that's fair. I thought he lost too. But at the end of the day, this still is Jaron Ennis' toughest test. We've seen Sergey Limpinets in there with great fighters. We've seen him in there with Mikey Garcia, and he gave Mikey Garcia hell. He gave him hell. We seen him in there with wasn't so prime Lamont Peterson, but it was Lamont Peterson at the end of the day, and he sent Lamont Peterson packing his bags. He was ready to go, and he retired him, beat him down. So yes, this is Jaron Ennis' toughest fight. Put some respect on this fight, because Sergey Limpinets, he comes to fight. He's not this big defensive fighter that some people are. He kind of uses his head as his defense. He also uses his punch output and his offense as his defense. He's in there. He's in there to get hit. He's in there to take a punch, to throw a punch. Maybe more than just one punch. Maybe he's in there to get hit one time to throw 5 punches. He's going to come at Jaron Ennis. Though he is a shorter, compact guy, he's in there to somewhat bully you. And that's his fighting style, is to try to bully you and to throw a lot of punches and hit you with these punches and beat you down. Now, will that happen? Who knows? Who knows? There's been many of times that these guys that are supposed to be it step up in competition to, guys like a Sergey Olympians, and they don't make it. They don't make it. They end up drowning them because they're not used to this level of competition. So I'm excited to see what goes down April the 10th, Showtime, on the main event. I'm glad to see that as well because I know Jaron Ennis has a lot of promotional problems. So I'm excited to see him headlining a card. And it just excites me, man. I'm ready to see one of the futures of boxing. We've seen Virgil Ortiz step up in competition against Maurice Hooker, which a lot of people, you got those guys. Well, Virgil Ortiz didn't look that good to me. He got hit a lot. He doesn't really have that great a defense. Whatever. At the end of the day, Virgil Ortiz, yes, he got hit, but this is his toughest fight. He's still only, 23 years old? This is his toughest fight. He's 23. He's still learning. Yes, at the end of the day, Maurice Hooker did his thing. He didn't win. He still got stopped. But he did his thing. All respect to Maurice Hooker. For real. He gave Virgil Ortiz a better fight than he was expecting. And he marked Virgil Ortiz's face up. Though they said it was from his gloves. But at the end of the day, his face was marked up. And you seen that at the end of the fight. But at the end of the day, when it comes to fights like that, that is only better for a Virgil Ortiz. If Virgil Ortiz is to knock him out in the second round, he doesn't know what to work on. He just keeps stopping these guys until he gets to the big moments where he fights with Terrence Crawford. And then maybe he gets exposed or whatever. But having a fight like he did with Maurice Hooker, even after the fight, you can see in his eyes, you can see in his face that he's like, yeah, he knows that he still has to work on things, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with knowing you have to work on things. There's nothing wrong with knowing you have to work on your defense. You're not going to be the perfect fighter. Nobody is just a perfect fighter. There's something that you always have to work on. And maybe his is the defense. But after this Maurice Hooker fight, I seen in his face he looked like he knew that he had to work on his defense. And that to me just shows that's just a good sign. That is a good sign. For everybody that's a big Virgil Ortiz fan, that is an amazing sign. Seeing that look on his face of knowing there are still things to work on in the gym. That's an amazing sign to me. And he did his thing. He still looks spectacular in stopping Maurice Hooker. And he's, like I said, one of the faces of boxing. Him and Virgil Ortiz on a collision course to fight each other, to have that super fight that hopefully we don't have to wait 5+ years to finally see it, like we did with the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, like we're kind of doing with the Spence-Crawford fight. But yeah, Jaron Ennis next Saturday, this coming Saturday, April 10th, against his toughest test, Sergey Olympians. Showtime, main events. Make sure you tune in because I'm trying to see what happens that fight. Does Jaron Ennis stop Sergey Olympians? Because we haven't seen it done. Does he beat him down? Because we haven't seen it done. Is he the first one to do that stuff? That's what I'm excited to see. He's already been talking about it. He wants to do that. He's said he's not looking for the knockout, but if it comes, then it comes. The one thing I like about Jaron, before I go, the one thing that I like about Jaron Ennis is when they talk to him and have interviews, you can catch all his interviews on YouTube. But when they have interviews and they talk to him, they're like, "Hey, well, Jaron, do you got a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend?" And he's like, somehow flips it around and ends up talking about boxing again like that. Just they can ask him the most random question ever. So, Jaron Ennis, do you wear house shoes? And then he'll flip it around to a boxing question. He reminds me of Earl Spence before Earl Spence was a champion. Now, I'm not saying Earl Spence is not dedicated to boxing. I'm not saying he's not the same as he was before. But that's what Jaron Ennis reminds me of. Everything is about boxing. He didn't answer even music. He turned around music into boxing somehow. He just does it. That's all he talks about is boxing. But I'm excited, man. Jaron Ennis and Sergey Olympians. I'm excited to see how the fight plays out. Is Jaron Ennis one of the futures of boxing? I sure hope he is, and I sure think he is. And I'm ready for him to put on a show. I think he'll put on a show just as good as Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz looks spectacular. I'm expecting Jaron Ennis to look equally as spectacular. I'm looking forward to those fighters. I'm looking forward to the future of boxing. I'm excited. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Who do y'all see as the future? Who is y'all's favorite future superstar? Who's your favorite? Is it Jaron Ennis? Is it Virgil Ortiz? Teofimo Lopez? Shakur Stevenson? Devin Haney? Who? Even Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee had a crazy knockout not that long ago. Maybe 3 Saturdays ago. He had a crazy knockout. I think he's somebody that we should be looking out for. Because he is amazing also. But y'all stay tuned, man. I've been slacking posting videos because I just moved. So I'm back on it, man. I'm back on this. I want to bring you guys content. I want to bring you guys something that you guys enjoy. And keep letting you guys come back. Because you can come on back whenever you want. But don't forget to like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to come back to the next video, man. Until I see y'all. Peace.